ladies. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the start of your TikTok. Okay, so here I am, blank face, nothing on. Okay, I am going to show you what I typically do in the beginning of the video and then what I typically do at the end of the video. Okay, so here what we're doing is we're gonna start off simple. And right now, because we are starting to build our page. So right now I'm building up my SWEETSENSE by Lydia. We are just simply going to be doing sounds, and we're going to be doing our makeup like shortcut. Okay, so like little bits and pieces. Now, the key point with that is that right here, I've already pressed the plus button after I've gotten on, and I'm going to create a TikTok. So remember, this button right here, this is a record. This one right here, the effects, that's basically, you know, when you have the different filters on your face. This one, upload, is obviously when you upload from your camera. So what we're doing is we are going to click this button right here where it says add sound. We are going to click that because we are going to add a trending sound to do our makeup to. Okay, so let me go ahead and press that. The volume might go crazy because it's going to play the sound, but I'm going to show you. Okay, so we're going to press add sound. Now here we're going to click on TikTok viral, and then you remember this area, so this is where all your sounds are. Okay, so now we're going to pick a simple sound. Let's stick to you know, obviously there's some right here, so you can see it has the name and then 30 seconds for the survivor, 30 seconds for the hustle, 15 seconds for the magic bomb. Because we're going to do a makeup look, let's go for like a 30-second one. So let me see. Okay, that's that one. Let's do that one. So we'll do that one. That's 30 seconds. Okay. And so what we're simply going to do, okay, so let's change this over to this so that way it can play or let's go 15 seconds. Let's just do 15 seconds, whatever. Okay, let's do 15 seconds. So you see how I pressed that? So this right here, it gives you 15 seconds, 60 seconds, and 3 minutes apparently. I didn't know I had that option on here. That's cool. Okay, nice. Okay, anyways, so what we're gonna do is basically we are going to click this timer. You see that timer right there with a little 3 inside, the timer clock? We are going to click that. Now, once I click this timer, and once I click that, it's going to come up with a little bar at the end. It's going to have all your little squiggly, all your lines, because it's going to be like a timeline, okay? And so the important thing is with the timer, before I click the timer, this is your setup. That's why it's so important to kind of get everything set up before you do your video, because that's how it's going to look seamlessly. So that's why some of my videos, like, it looks like, oh damn, like, ooh. It's because I want to make sure that my seat is positioned where it's going to stay. My lighting is positioned where it's going to stay. So I have my box light there. I have my vanity light right here. And then my background. Please pay attention to your background, okay? So right here, you have your pharmacy sign, your pictures right there on the side. Make sure all of this behind you and all of your lighting in front of you are the exact same, okay? So important, okay? Another very, very important is the tripod. So what you have your phone on right now I have a tripod. It stays put. It does not move. So when you're setting your camera there and you're like, okay, I'm about to do this, let's get this started. Make sure you have, so I kind of have all my makeup near me, so that way if I have to reach over to grab something, I don't move the tripod. Like, everything it's so important. Everything stays the same. I can't stress to you enough. That's one of my key things. Everything stays the same. Nothing moves, okay? So that is that's the number one tip on how I make sure that my videos look seamlessly, because nothing moves. The lighting stays the same. The background stays the same. Even after I do my makeup and I run and do my hair, put my shirt on, the lighting stays. I don't turn anything off, okay? I don't turn anything off. The tripod does not move. Now, that's the first one. Second one, the timer right here. The timer is going to be your BFF when it comes to different clips, okay? When it comes to multiple clips, when you're doing the timer, because it's going to count you down from 3, okay? Make sure it's on to 3. When it counts you down, okay, when it counts you down, when it hits the 3, 2, 1, at 1, and then it's going to, going to record, I want you, if it's a wording, I want you to already kind of say the word as it's starting to come on. Like, so if it's going to be like, whatever, hey, say, like, already start saying hey when it goes 1 play or 1 record. When it goes 1, you're going to say hey, and it's going to record, because your mouth, there's a delay on the timer. So your mouth is going to catch up. Even though you think it's not going to capture, it will capture. Okay. So that's another one. That's tip number 2. Make sure when you use your timer, when it goes 3, 2, 1, when it hits 1, you're already saying what's coming. You're already doing the action for what you want to do in the video. Okay. So if it's hey, you already go hey when it's on 1. Okay, that makes sense? Tell me if that makes sense. Okay, when you're doing that, and that's for if you're saying something. If you're not, then you want to just make sure, if it's a transition, you want to make sure when it hits 1, you're already moving towards your action, so that way it captures it. Okay, it captures it. Don't wait until 3, 2, 1, 0 and then move, because there's a delay. So you want to make sure when it hits 1, right when it hits 1, you already want to start moving whatever you're doing, okay? Whether that's the next move, the transition, where you're kind of like coming out, where you're like transitioning, transformation. At 1 is so important for your timing to just go, okay? So that's like the other one too. So what we're going to do is we are going to click that timer. Another one before we click it, sorry, these are like my main things that I think of when I create my TikToks. Okay, these are why the TikToks come out the way they do, because I have a little process that happens before. Okay, so when I click on the TikTok and I tell you, I'm going to show you where you can move. You can move the line to where you want the clip to be, okay? Now, the very important thing is that when you're moving the line, you're listening to the sound, okay? You're listening to the sound, whether it's the word or just the beat. You want to make sure as you move it over to wherever you want it to stop, make a mental note on where it stops. So that way, if you have to go back to redo it, you're not trying to look for it all the time. You're literally just going right back to that time. So it's the second, okay? So say you record and you're at 3.5 seconds that you're recording, and then you record, and then you're like, shit, I got to do it over. So then now all you got to do is delete that last clip and then go back to your timer and then go straight back to 3.5 and redo. That's going to save you time, because then you're not having to listen to, okay, where was that sound again? Now you already know mentally that, okay, I got to go back to 3.5. It's the same thing as you do all of your other different clips, okay? Same, it just repeats, okay? So, let me just show you really quick. I know sometimes when I do the record, the sound kind of gets crazy, but I'm going to show you. So if I click on the timer right there, so you already hear where, okay, so you already hear where the sound starts to play already. So listen for that sound. Now in this case, because we're just kind of getting ready, little clips, what I like to do, just depending on the song, I like to record it based on like 1 second. So if I go right there, so you see that 1 second right there. So you see how that red line with the little dot on the top, that's your timer. That's your thing that you kind of go back and forth. Okay. So I like to go maybe 1 second, 2 seconds. So that way I'm just pretty much, that's right. So if I click 1 second, I'm going to show you like, so like 1 second can be like me opening the palette, right? 1 second can be me like basically having this on there and you're like going like this, okay? And you're like bringing it to the camera. Visuals, like coming up from the back, coming up to the front is so, it makes the video just look more, not dramatic, but it just has like, when you have different movements and they're not like crazy movements, but when you have like different angles and different things like that, it makes it more fun and more eye-catching when you're watching it, okay? So the 1 second for me can be like, you know, putting the foundation on, like having, you know, you can have your foundation, pump it like that. And trust me, 1 second is very, very fast. Okay, so and so I feel like it looks good when it's like multiple clips when you're getting ready, because you can kind of see like, oh, from the beginning to the end, and it's like, oh yes. Okay, so in this instance, you know, we can start with, you know, I always start with the primer, you know, so we can start with, you know, primer, you know, this can be the 1 second, you know, 1 second. So let's try it. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to start the countdown right here. You see that pink button? I'm going to start the countdown. And at the countdown, I want to make sure it's kind of like this, or you can go like this, whichever one. You already kind of get ready. And remember, when it goes to 1, already start moving. Okay? Okay. Okay. So that was like, you see how that was a fast move? So that can even be like 0.5 seconds, half a second. Because see, let me show you. Okay. So we can put it back to the 1 second, or we can put it down to 5 seconds. Okay, so you see how it moves. So just make a note every time you're putting each clip. Make a note of where that timer is. Okay, so if we do this, which is 0.5 seconds, 1. Okay. And then we go back and have at least, so you see how my, now we're going to go to 1. Okay, so you see how that kind of moved. You see how my phone kind of moved. So just make a note of that. Please make a note of that, because it's so freaking important. So now I'm going to do the second one. Okay, we're going to do the countdown, and we're going to do this. Okay, and then we're going to do, so right here, all I'm doing, I'm displaying the, I'm displaying the products I'm using, is pretty much what I'm doing. Okay, and so, so this one can be, the second one can be like this. Okay, we'll do it really quick so you can kind of see. So you see how just make sure you make a mental note on what's in the back of you, so that way you can move your phone back to it. Okay, I'll do this one. Okay, so now let's watch that so far, because that's what, 2 seconds of it. So let's watch it. Okay, so let's go back. Okay. So that was pretty cool, right? I mean, it's pretty cool. I think it's so cool. So that's how I create my multiple clips. Okay, so you see up here, do you see up there these clips right here? So that shows that you have 4 clips. There's the blues. Okay, so there's a blue line, blue line, blue line, blue line. That shows you have 4 clips. Now say you're like, oh, I gotta do the last one over again. So you see this delete button right here. All you do is click that delete button, and then so let me just show you. When you click it, it's going to confirm, do you want to discard the last clip? This one you can keep. You can either keep it or discard it. Okay, so you pick your one. I'm not going to delete that, so I'm going to keep it. But so that's how you would go back, and then you would go back to your timer and push it all the way back to where that timer was. Remember the last one that you always make a note of your last one that you did, and then redo it. Okay, so so yeah, so we'll leave it there, and then we will do, so I want you to practice that, and then as you are getting, then you actually get ready. Like then your next clip is you can do it where you're doing your foundation. Like you already put your spots on, or your foundation on. You know, do it with the brush. So this can be a half a second where you're putting your foundation on. You're opening this, so a dip can be like 1. That can be a 0.5 second. That can be 1 second, 1.5 second, whatever you feel looks good. Okay, so and make it fun, like, and just kind of move with it, like just have fun with it. But the most important thing is basically your positioning. So making sure you're positioning, making sure you remember the background. Make a note, like I make a note, like you see this sunflower right here, the sunflower, my picture back there. I make a note on where that cutoff is, like where is the cutoff right there. Make sure that's right. Make sure that like I even measure like the top of my head to like the background. Like it's minor details like that that's going to help your video look so effortlessly, look so seamlessly. You're just like, damn, Those are my key points. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking visual, like, okay, so the SU, it doesn't really see the C. So I'm like, okay, cool. I need to make sure that if it moves, I need to make sure that that's the same. My chair, you know how it goes up and down. I need to make sure this does not change. My lighting does not change. Nothing changes, okay? So that's going to help you. So have fun, and that's going to be your first video, okay? Yes! Okay, bye, ladies.